Hello and welcome everyone to the Dead Letter Office Kickstarter Week 2 vlog. This is your host and the creator of the Dead Letter Office. This week it's going to be really short. I just have a couple things to go over, and we're going to get started with the news about the one-time shipment update that I made this past week. Because this is shipped throughout the year, for the United States, it's really easy because you just place a stamp on it and it's relatively inexpensive because it's shipped from here. And it becomes complicated with Canada and international. And I really want to find a cheaper solution. Thanks to one of our listeners, as I mentioned before, they asked if they could receive a one-time fulfillment package at the end in December. And of course, if that makes it cheaper, let's do it. And it does, it makes it cheaper across the board. So that's the really important part there. Let me give you a little bit of insight into the price ranges. I quoted everything through mostly Pirate Ship and Shopify, which is my store app where I can ship packages through and get a discount. I seem to get the best discount through Pirate Ship consistently. So the bottom number that you're seeing in the monthly and one-time fulfillment costs, that's the base number that I received. And then the higher number is just to prepare us for whatever the future lies. So I don't really expect those high numbers to exist. So you can kind of count on the lower number, but you never know. Anything could change in the world between now and January. And let's hope that it stays at a consistent price. Next. So anyway, just everyone feel free to choose either one of those. I'm glad to do either one. So if you really want to know exactly what it's going to cost, I have the box and the weights, and I'm glad to look that up personally for your physical address. Just PM me and I'll do that. And I will choose the best shipping for you. It's really easy to do that. I did that last time we had an issue with Canada because of the mail system, and we shipped several pieces in Canada that missed that window. We shipped those via UPS rather than the United States Postal Service, which was much more reliable in that case. I have a feeling for some of our friends in the EU, we'll probably be shipping this as well because those prices are lower. And again, the shipping is more reliable. Next. So I think we can make 15,000 with this Kickstarter. We're already far beyond what I'd hoped. I really feel like 15,000 is doable. And I want to introduce a stretch goal because it really doesn't look like we're going to hit 25 or 35, sadly, because I really wanted to do those two pieces. We're still going to do the wax seal because I need the wax seal for myself for all the packages. So we're going to do that contest. And if I can find a way to either make those cheaply in-house, I'll offer those as an add-on later, and I'll give you guys a cheaper price for those if you're really interested in that. The book box is something I also want to do in the future. If I get the funds to make that book box happen, I will be offering that for sure. It's something I want personally. I have mock-ups and they look awesome. In fact, here's one right here. This is a really huge box. It fits all of them. I was looking at something just a little bit smaller than this, but this was the size that fit everything. And this is what I was looking at for the book box with more of a Queensgate or a Dead Letter Office design on top of it. So that's the current state of the stretch goals. But what I want to do is introduce a $15,000 stretch goal and really hit that number. I think we can do it. I think if we all pitch in and share it and get people involved, we can push this over. And because I want to offer you guys something extra. The one thing about the Dead Letters is that every story in the Dead Letters is based on one of my prints. So when I started this, I made 30 plus prints. It's ongoing. I'm still making prints. And the idea behind them is that they all had a story. So originally I was going to have a story for each of the prints and make a book out of that. And as I got more involved with telling the story of Queensgate and did it in an epistolary format through the newspapers and letters, I found that I really preferred that style better. And so when I came down to, okay, it's time to start telling the stories of all the prints, the Dead Letters to me seemed like a more immersive solution to do that rather than simply a short story. So this story is based off the print number 14, which I have here, and that is the perplexing case of the Dunhams. And so what I want to do is I have 2 different variants of paper. I have a art paper, which is an etching stock, which is a really nice, heavy white paper. That's one option. And I have this Japanese kozo that people love that I print on. If you know about Japanese mulberry papers, they're very thin but very strong. This particular Japanese kozo paper is made in Kochi, Japan. It has a backing on it so that it's even more durable and archival, and it's quite nice. It's a very nice paper, and the prints look good on it. I have really struggled with mastering printing on this paper, but I have it down, and a lot of people love it. So I have that paper. Now, with all that said, just for the Kickstarter, I've never done this before. I've always wanted to do this, but for you guys, I want to do a handmade variant that's straight out of Doc's journal, as if he drew it himself. That's this one right here. Something like this. Now, this is a piece that is made by myself in my studio. They all are. They're all printed in my studio, but I actually weather and antique this piece. So these are the 3 variants that I would like to offer for the 15,000, and you can choose which one you want. I think 5x7 is good because I can include that in your envelope and it's not going to add shipping costs to you. And as far as the handmade variant, I don't feel like there's going to be 1,000 of those being sold. So I'm glad to do that and take the extra time to make those. I really feel like it's something a little bit different that I've never done before. And I will sign and number all of these. So that's for 15,000. And if we can all band together and share this campaign and get the word out, we can reach that $15,000 goal pretty easily in the last week. So that's all I have for today. Once again, thank you so much for your support. Thank you for everyone who's offered recommendations and suggestions. And again, I'm always open to hearing your thoughts. And if you have questions, please ask. I'm more than happy to answer. So once again, thank you, everyone, and we'll talk to you next week. Take care. Bye.